Okay, I got another joke for you guys today. I posted this joke on Facebook a few days ago, and some people didn't understand it, so I want to make a video explaining it. Okay, so here's the joke. It's a 5-minute walk from my house to the pub. It's a 35-minute walk from the pub to my house. The difference is staggering. The difference is staggering. Do you get it? Do you get this joke? Well, it's funny because of the word staggering. Staggering. Okay, so the word staggering is a pun. Now, if you've seen my other lessons in this jokes series, you'll know I've talked about this a lot. What is a pun? Do you remember? Well, a pun is a word that has more than one meaning. Okay, so the word staggering has more than one meaning. In this case, there are two meanings. Okay, so how should we find out the meaning for the word staggering? Well, a really good way to figure out the meaning of a word is to look up synonyms for it. What's a synonym? A synonym is a word that is similar. Okay, so there's a book, or actually there's a website called a thesaurus. A thesaurus is a resource that gives you all the synonyms of a word. Okay, so let's type in this word in a thesaurus. Okay, and let's see what it says. Okay, so here are the results. It says amazing, astonishing, astounding, mind-boggling, shocking, stunning. Okay, so even though this isn't the definition, we didn't look up the definition. Sometimes it's more useful to look up synonyms. Sometimes a definition can be really technical and you don't really understand it. It might have another word or a few words or a phrase that you don't understand too. So sometimes the best way to find the meaning of a new word is to look up synonyms. Okay, so now we've looked up these synonyms, right? So now you know what staggering means. And now let's go back to the joke and let's put it in. Okay, so it's a 5-minute walk from my house to the pub. It's a 35-minute walk from the pub back to my house. The difference is staggering. Okay, it means the difference is astonishing. That's mind-blowing. Wow, that's a big difference, right? How can it take 5 minutes to walk to the pub, but when you walk back to your house, it's a 35-minute walk? What? That difference, there's a huge difference, right? That's astonishing. Now, the word staggering has another meaning, like I said. Now, do you know what a pub is? A pub is a place you go to drink beer, like a bar, sort of like a restaurant or a bar. You go to a pub, you have a few beers, and then, you go home. Or you might eat. You might go to a pub, have some fish and chips, talk with your friends. You don't need to drink, but typically people go to a pub to have a beer, maybe have a meal or something like that. Okay, so it's typically a place people drink alcohol. Okay, so that's a clue that we need to understand the meaning of this joke. So the word staggering also means to walk like you're stumbling. Here, I'll give you an example, right? Like, look at this. I'm gonna stagger. I'm staggering, right? It means like to stumble around, stumbling. Now, why would people stagger? Well, they could stagger for different reasons. But one of the most common reasons people stagger, hey, look at that guy staggering. What would you think if you saw a guy walking like this? Just like, you would probably think he's drunk, right? So that's probably the most common reasons, people stagger is because they've had too much alcohol. They're drunk. Okay, so the verb to stagger means to walk around like that, right? So this is, the difference is staggering. So that's funny. It's funny because when we see that word in this context, we know that's what makes the joke funny, right? Because it takes 5 minutes to walk from your house to the pub because you're sober. You're sober, right? You're not drunk. Sober means not drunk, okay? But it takes 35 minutes to walk back to your house from the pub because you're drunk. You're walking like this. You're not walking in a straight line. So it takes a lot longer to walk back to your house. Okay, so that's the joke, right? The word staggering is the pun. Now, on Facebook, Someone asked a really good question. They said, why is it 5-minute walk and not 5 minutes walk? Because we have 5, right? If we have more than one, we need to put an S on a word, right? If you have one cookie, it's just cookie. But if you have 2 cookies, then you need to put an S, right? 1 banana, 2 bananas. 1 minute, 2 minutes. So why is there no S? That's a brilliant question. Well, the reason we cannot put an S on the word minute here is because minute is functioning as an adjective. Do you know what an adjective is? An adjective is a word that describes a noun. Okay, so the noun here is walk. Okay, what kind of walk is it? Well, it's a fun walk. You're having fun. It's a fun walk. It's a beautiful walk. It's a nice walk. It's a 5-minute walk. It's a 5-minute walk. Okay, so when a word, like a unit of measurement, is used as an adjective, we can't put the S. It's wrong to put the S. Okay, so we have this with other units of measurement too. What are some other units of measurement that you can think of? Well, what about degrees, right? Different degrees, 5 degrees, 10 degrees. Okay, that's a unit of measurement. Here's a memory card, right? What's the capacity of this memory card? Look at that, it says 64, right? 64 what? 64 gigabytes, okay? Gigabytes, not GB. A lot of people, non-native English speakers, say 64 GB. We native English speakers don't really say that. We would say 64 gigabytes or just 64 gigs, 64 gig. Okay, so what is the capacity? Well, this is a 64 gigabyte card. Not gigabytes. Why? Did you hear what I said? Because I used the word card. Okay, if I use the word card, then I have to take the S off. It's a 64 gigabyte card. Or I could say it's 64 gigabytes. Okay, if I don't have the word card, then I say. So remember back to the pub example, right? How many minute walk is it? You could ask me, hey Mark, how long does it take to walk to the pub? How long does it take to walk to the pub? And I could say, it takes 5 minutes. It takes 5 minutes, right? Then I have the S because there's nothing after it, right? But I could also say, it's a 5-minute walk. It's a 5-minute walk, okay? So I can either say 5 minutes or a 5-minute walk. Let's say you're going to run a race. You're going to run a race for charity to raise money for cancer, raise money for some other cause. Okay, I could ask you, how long is the race? How long is the race? Okay, I'm talking about the distance, right? How long is the distance? You could say it's 10 kilometers. It's 10 kilometers, okay? Or you could say it's a 10-kilometer race. It's a 10K race. K means kilometer, right? Let's take a look at one more example. So if you like photography like I do, you'll know this is called a lens. This is it's a lens, the camera lens, right? Now, in the photography world, lenses are measured by millimeters. Millimeters. If you don't understand why they're measured by millimeters, don't worry about that. But this here is a 35 millimeter lens. Okay, it's a 35 millimeter. Now, I watch a lot of videos on YouTube of people reviewing lenses, and I always know if someone's not a native English speaker because they would say it's a 35 millimeters lens. It's a 35 millimeters lens. Now, why is that wrong? It's wrong because we have the word lens, okay? And when we have the word lens, which is a noun, we have to take off the S. Okay, so this is just a 35 millimeter lens, not 35 millimeters lens. So those are some examples. That's why we take off the S. It's the same if you bake a cake, right? Let's say you bake a banana cake, and the cake calls for 3 bananas. Is it a bananas cake or a banana cake? What do you think? Well, it's just a banana cake. Even though you use 3 bananas, it's just a banana cake because the word banana is an adjective. Same for a milkshake. You might make yourself a banana milkshake or a mango milkshake. Is it a mangoes milkshake or mango milkshake? It doesn't matter how many mangoes you use. You could use 10 mangoes. You could use 1,000,000 mangoes. 1,000,000 mangoes. That would be one heck of a shake. 1,000,000 mango milkshake. Man, sign me up for that one. I'd be willing to pay. I'd be willing to shell out a few bucks for that. Shell out means pay. I'd be willing to pay a few bucks. So if a word is an adjective, we use this all the time in English, right? This is very common, right? Banana milkshake, mango milkshake, banana cake, millimeter, milliliters, degrees. We use these all the time. So this is a very important thing for you to understand. If one of these measurement words is used as an adjective, then we take off the S. Okay, it's a very common mistake, but it's a great question. Thank you so much for asking that question. Hey guys, don't be afraid to ask questions. There are no stupid questions. Everybody's at a different place in their learning, so just ask me questions and I'll try to help you guys. I'll try to make more videos in this joke series. Jokes are just such a great way to learn English because if you understand humor, it just makes your learning more fun. What would the world be without humor? Humor is one of the best things about this world. It just makes your day better. It makes you smile. It makes you laugh. So expect more videos in this joke series coming up soon. Hey, hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll see you over in the next episode of Mad English TV. Take care.